Hello everyone. I am back again with a few more words on our October theme for the studio, which is grounding. On part one, I was talking about grounding through the foot, and that especially applies to standing poses. And we were talking about the four corners of the foot, so the base of the big toe, the base of the little toe, the inner heel, the outer heel, and then the arch. So from the foot grounding, we can take some knowledge about, as we ground down through the four corners, that invites a lift up in the arch as we're practicing standing poses. So today I would like to talk about a related phenomenon, very similar, that happens in your hands when we're bearing weight on our hands. So there's a lot of important yoga poses that we do bearing weight on our hands. Probably the most obvious one is downward facing dog, and then of course plank. There's also handstands and many of the arm balance where we're balancing ourselves on our hands. So if we can create a really good foundation, grounding down through the points of the hand, there's actually four corners of the hand, and then there is an arch of the palm that is related to the arch of the foot. So as we're able to get a good grounding foundation through the hands, then we can get the equal and opposite lift up from the arch of the palm to help us lift our whole pose up. So let's hone in a little bit now on the hand. The four corners of the hand are the base of the thumb, which is down here on the inner wrist, the base of your index finger, the base of the little finger, and then the outer wrist. So that makes these four corners. And so we could just talk about the four corners of the hand, but it can also be useful to think about the hand having a horseshoe shape of grounding. And so that horseshoe shape starts at this corner of the hand and goes up and comes to include these other knuckles and back to the outer wrist. So there is our horseshoe shape. And so what you can feel when you're bearing weight on your hands is that each knuckle where the fingers join the palm is one point of contact as part of that horseshoe shape. So when that is well grounded down, that helps us define and feel the lift of the arch of the palm. So that gives us a very strong foundation for the poses where we're going to be bearing weight on our hands. You can feel this for yourself if you come down onto hands and knees, because we can really see our hands and take a special care to set them up carefully to make a foundation. So the first thing it's nice to do is to stretch your fingers out. So each finger stretches out of the palm from that grounding point, the knuckle where the finger joins the palm. So that grounds down, and then each finger stretches out, and you see that they're spread, so we have a similar amount of space between each of the four fingers, and then the thumb is also opened away from that. Okay, so that gives us a nice big foundation, and as I consciously ground down through each of the points, making that horseshoe shape, then from the arch of the palm, I'm going to be able to lift up. So if I don't look up, I have kind of a saggy, collapsed look like this. So from the arch of the palm, I want to lift up. Usually we don't want so much lift that the back rounds up unless you're doing a cat pose on hands and knees, but just lift up enough so that you're light in your shoulders, your chest is open, and the space between the blades in the back is also open. Then that gives me my nice foundation, balance between grounding down and lifting up, that sets the stage for me to come up into my dog pose. So I'm not collapsing down, But again, I'm grounding those points, lifting up from the arch and stretching all the way up to my hips. Then, of course, we could come forward to plank pose. And in this way, we're building awareness of our foundation in the hands, and we're building good upper body strength that will set the stage for us eventually to progress to things like handstand and some of the very challenging arm balances. So as I'm getting ready to finish this short description here, I'd also like you to try with me if you externally rotate your arms, and again I have that nice opening of my hands and fingers. And when you bring your palms together into Namaste, then we similarly can feel that connection where those bones of the horseshoe shape are connecting with each other. And then that nice open space there that is the palm, the arch of the palm. Namaste.